Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about the recently concluded events, tournaments that happened this holiday season, and I just want to look at what are the decks out there that is doing really well, what are the new decks that are, kind of dominant, and what are the changes in the meta. Because I think with this one, it's pretty interesting. We are having kind of a diverse types of decks that are doing okay, or there are a lot of different preferences that is coming out of the woodwork. So of course there is no big tournaments happening right now, but a lot of small ones where I could say some people are testing things out before the big ones. And also it's kind of fitting to end the year, kind of a looking forward trends of what's coming next year. But before that, of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do, would highly appreciate that. And if you do like the video at the end of it, please hit that like button. Alright then, first I'll give you like an overview of what happened, decks used, winners, and then from there I will give you my 3 takeaways so that we're not all over the place. 3 takeaways based on the information that is given to us. So from December 25 up to December 29, which was yesterday, there are 43 total tournaments that happened. Today there's none. I checked, don't worry. So 43 total tournaments, and what I'm showing you is the breakdown of the decks that won the tournaments. So again, these are just the champions. I did not include the second, third, or the top cut, because basically we're going to be including a lot more information to digest, and I don't want this to be an hour or 2 video. I do think it's a good enough sample size anyway, and so yeah, we're only going with the champions. Just to break it down, we have our Caledon EX, used 5 times as a champion. Interestingly, only one of them has a Dialga. The other 4 did not, and so I thought Dialga is a pretty good combo with our Caledon, but apparently you don't need it given that it became a champion 4 times without it. Dragapult EX, 9 times champion. I am gonna have a key takeaway later, and so I'm not gonna talk about it that much, but I'm just gonna let you know that this Dragapult EX deck is not the one with Iron Thorns, right? But yeah, so 9-time champion. Dragapult Charizard, this is a combination that I saw before but did not win a lot, but now I guess they're bringing it back. So 1-time champion, not substantial, but it's worth noting just for now. Lugia is really crazy, given that Pokemon has put a lot of counters in place. Like they've brought out a lot of cards that will definitely counter a special energy user, but Lugia together with Archeops, of course, is still dominating, given that it was used 7 times as a champion. I gotta say, it's really impressive, going against the grain basically. Gardevoir only used 3 times as a champion. I thought it would be more, since this Gardevoir is rocking 3 Monkey Dories and 3 Darkness Energies, and kind of a perfect counter to a Dragapult, but numbers don't lie. Zard Pidgeot, I thought by now they'd be dead, given that from the last video I made, there was a lot of Dragapult Iron Thorns combination, but I guess they removed the Iron Thorns in the equation, and so Zard Pidgeot is back, right? Proven wrong, they'd be dead by now. Roaring Moon, this Roaring Moon is the non-EX one. This is an interesting combination, which I will have in my key takeaway as well. But this one is 3-time champion. Saraluge, also a 3-time used as a champion. So this is getting more and more popular. Very susceptible against mill decks, but still 3-time champion. Can't say much about that. Lost Box, it's F, so it's almost dead. But we still get some wins here and there. Snorlax stole 3-time used as a champion. That's pretty significant. I don't like this at all, but yeah, it's something to take note of. Are they making a comeback? I'm not sure. Probably not, because Snorlax, the one that's used here, is an F, and so it's about to disappear from the rotation. But yeah, it's pretty significant achievement. 3-time champion. Raging Bolt, only a 1-time champion. Also worth noting the disappearance of Regidrago, which has a similar playstyle. But yeah, they are not doing so well. Surprising, I would say. But yeah, numbers don't lie. Chen Pao only 1. I'm actually surprised that people are still using it. But yeah, we have 1. And then Terrapagos twice as a champion this holiday season. Now, my first key takeaway here is with regards to the 9-time champion Dragapult EX. I checked all of the decks here, 9 of them. Interestingly, they no longer use Iron Thorns. Instead, they were using Buju. And obviously, we've talked about it in the last video. There are certain things that you can exploit if they are using Iron Thorns EX. Namely, it's a 2-prizer. And also, it has 4 retreat costs. So without the, what do you call that one? The Future Booster Energy capsule, it won't be able to retreat. Or it will be able to retreat, but at the cost of 4 energy, which is very costly. And so those are obvious flaws that you can exploit. And now that it's being replaced with a Buju, which does not have a retreat cost, does not need an energy to use a devastating attack, not being able to use an item card is as devastating or even more devastating than not being able to use an ability. And given the fact that if you use the attack of Buju, even if you counter catcher or you boss order another Pokemon, the effect that you won't be able to use an item is still there. And so that one is very interesting and very devastating. And so yeah, it's surprising, but at the same time also not surprising that Iron Thorns EX was replaced as a combo partner for Dragapult EX. And also, before I forget to mention, they are now using a 222 line of Dusknoir. And so that is my main takeaway. Iron Thorns going out of commission, being replaced by Buju, and winning 9 tournaments out of 43. That is a very significant update that we need to take note of. Now, the second key takeaway here is with regards to the 3-time champion Roaring Moon regular, not the EX one, just the regular Roaring Moon. And I checked the deck list of all 3 that were champions, and I thought it was interesting because I actually had a very similar deck idea in the past. The reason why it did not work when I tested it out, it was because I think there were a lot more Charizard EX decks back then. And the idea that I had did not work against it. But now, I think it works well because there are a lot more variations in terms of decks used in the tournaments. Anyway, you'll get the idea once I explain it. So the deck has 4 Roaring Moons, 4 Fluttermanes, and 4 Great Tusks. So the idea is to have Roaring Moon have good enough damage that it won't be a problem to KO something like a Pheasantipity or a Raging Bolt. But then also have Great Tusk, 4 of them, if in case the match dictates that it's a better idea to mill the opponent rather than win by prize cards. I like this idea because with Great Tusk only decks, basically if your opponent knows what you're trying to do, they will not play any Pokemon on the bench so that you can't counter catcher them and trap another Pokemon so that it can use Land Collapse freely. And also sometimes they will try to conserve them playing cards so that they won't get milled easily. And so with Roaring Moon there, the opponent is kind of like hanging in a balance. Like, do I play cards and be milled by Great Tusk later on, or should I play cards now because Roaring Moon will definitely knock me out? And so that is my second takeaway. Being a tweener, either winning by prizes or winning by mill, is now a viable option because of the diversity of the decks that are being used. And there are definitely a lot more decks that are kind of milling themselves out. Something like a Ceruledge and used to be Regidrago. Right, so that is my second takeaway. Now, my third and final takeaway here is the decline of Raging Bolt and the obvious absence of Regidrago, which just a month ago were the top two used meta decks in the standard format. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised by this. I did not expect to have only one Raging Bolt crowned as a champion and not one Regidrago. And it wasn't even like they used it, but it did not win. It's just that not a lot of people are using it right now. Now, I'm not gonna lie, neither is my main deck. I do have it in TCG Live, but that's just for familiarity, so I know what to do when I go against it. So I don't know the ideology, the mindset, why the previous Regidrago or Raging Bolt users chose not to go with it this time around, because again, it was the top two used decks just a month ago. Now it's not. My speculation is that because like 2 weeks ago it was very popular, the Dragapult Iron Thorns combo. That deck is kind of a direct counter to Raging Bolt and Regidrago, and so maybe they thought that there will be a lot of those decks in the tournament, and so they chose not to go with that one. Maybe again, this is just a speculation. I think that's the reason why, because other than that, I can't think of anything else. In all honesty, on paper, I think Raging Bolt versus Dragapult EX without Iron Thorns, I think Raging Bolt has the advantage. Let's see by next year. Of course, this is now public knowledge. People will know that a lot of the Iron Thorns Dragapult combination has now been replaced into a Dragapult Buju combination. Would the absence of Iron Thorns prompt people to go back to Raging Bolt and Regidrago? What I can say for sure is that Teal Masked Ogrepon is still kind of overpriced, and I think this will prompt it to go down a little bit to like a little bit affordable. And that's it. That is my three main takeaways based on the results of the recently concluded holiday tournaments. Let me know what you think. Maybe you have your own takeaway as well. Let me know in the comment section. But anyway, that is gonna be the final video in this channel for this year. Of course, more to come next year, but I would like to take this opportunity to just thank you guys for supporting the channel, for supporting the comeback, right? Really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it too. More fun things, more analysis, more things to talk about when 2025 comes around. A lot of really good sets coming as well, and so I'm really excited for that. But yeah, for now, I'd like to sign off, and I will see you next year. Happy New Year, everybody.